Today's podcast is brought to you by the BetStamp app, which is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find best prices, bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for game lines, player props, and even futures bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 plus yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple iOS Store, Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code RBRANT, all one word, and start your journey to successful sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. Check it out today.
The Red Bull Rant is a free-flowing podcast with three soccer-loving idiots who don't know when to shut their dumb potty mouths. So listener discretion, yeah, it's pretty much advised.
From the Bayshore, New Jersey, the shores of the Merrimack River, and Massachusetts, this is the Red Bull Rant Podcast. What the hell is that? I'm Rusty. I'm your host, Pat McDonald.
Hey, Pat's back and fucking up already. I love it. I'm Truman, and this is episode 429. We're just going to call this Simply Red.
Simply Red. Yes, that's right. Jay, unfortunately, could not be here tonight, so I am making a return. One of my rare ones that'll happen this season. It is not a full-on return, but I didn't want Truman to go it alone on this one. I felt bad.
Yeah, I just want like a 5-minute show and be like, "Hey, we won." Yeah. Did it.
Yeah, you know. So we want to at least get this thing to 20 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. The New York Red Bulls actually won a game at home against Smurf City. It was a 1-0 win. Before we get into our likes and dislikes, we have tweets and emails, or do we?
I don't think we have emails, but I'll read the few tweets. Now, again, the Red Bulls win a game against by CFC. 3 tweets. They lose, people go out of their minds, which I mean, they should.
Yeah.
But all right, so let's run down here. Steven Santos at Creepy Taxi said, "We won at home. We looked somewhat better and not letting in any goals from our rivals. That's always a plus." Ruchesco said, "Looked less like a team on Xanax than one so banged up that Cam Harper had to play at wing. Reassuringly watchable. What a difference some hair makes." That is a great term for the game. Reassuringly watchable. That they were completely unwatchable. Our friend Eddie at Pierre Delecta said, "You let your team down. You let your team down. Talus Magnot, you let your team down." This was probably one of the most fun 1-0 games this team has had in a while, and it was reflective from tailgate to march to game, and then Omir goal capped it all off. Eat shit, City.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, as always, for your tweets. Keep bringing them on. We always love to hear them. So let's now get into our likes and dislikes. So let's start with the negative. Truman, what did you dislike about this one?
Pat, you know what you haven't missed on this show? Ming saying the same thing every show. Every show, it's the same. And what is the problem? The problem is scoring goals.
Yep.
And I'm going to say it again, like I said every week. I know there's guys that are injured. I know we're missing some key players. But it was 0-0 until the 75th minute, I think, is when the goal came.
Mm-hmm.
No scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the Omir Fernandez cracking goal, as they like to say, this team generates so little, and it's painful to see. It's really painful. I'm not even mad this week at Tom Barlow when I think at the first half the ball gets passed up, and it wasn't even close. He didn't have a chance to get a touch on the ball because it just went right to the keeper. They're not getting scoring opportunities, and it's we got lucky this week. I mean, that's really what you can say. We got lucky winning this game, because that's usually a loss. This everything that happened usually leads to a loss.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a part of the reason I don't do this show anymore is because I felt like it's complaining about the same thing. I felt I was getting boring, and I didn't want you listeners to have to deal with me being boring anymore. So yeah, no, I 100% agree with everything you said there. It's just it's a painful product to watch right now. That being said, my dislike is going to be a little different. My dislike is that on my way to the game, my car broke down. And so, therefore, I did not get to do the tailgate that I was really looking forward to. I had a cooler full of meat ready to go. Yeah. I mean, it went in the freezer, so it's fine. But I didn't make it to Red Bull Arena, and the team actually won, and I wasn't there. And I wanted to drink Smurf City fan tears. I really did. It would have been a fantastic capper to my Saturday. So yeah, my big dislike was auto trouble. There you go. Super fun.
It sucks. I think 2 years ago I came down there for the NYCFC game, and that was the lightning storm, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Last year I went down there for the one game, and they looked terrible, and I believe they lost 1-0.
Oof.
So this is the game that none of us made.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We're cursed.
We are the curse, so we should just not show up when they play NYCFC.
All right. Well, now the negativity's out of the way. What did you like about this one?
I think that fact that I want to believe that beating NYCFC is a catalyst of better things to come.
It's not.
Right. Whether that's I don't know. I mean, is it just one good feeling day? But hey, this new manager's got 2 wins, 2 straight games, the Open Cup win and this game. So positive vibes coming our way, I hope.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to go just like that season where the Seattle Sounders fired Ziggy Schmidt and Schmeitzer took over, whatever his name is, took over and won MLS Cup. That's pretty much that's exactly what's going to happen this season. One could hope, but I don't see it happening. But that being said, my would pretty much has to be your. You mentioned it in your dislike is that Omi Fernandez's goal was it was a thing of beauty. Kind of to go to that whole thing, you kind of hope that's the start of something. But Omi has been around long enough, he's just someone who pops up here and there. This is not going to take another step, but when he does pop up, it is something usually nice like that. So. Got a hats off to Amir Fernandez for the hell of a goal and finally getting this team 3 points that they have not seen in some time. Afterthoughts? Any afterthoughts on this one?
No, just like we were saying. I mean, I just hope it's a sign of things to come. That they have a slightly favorable couple games coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. I mean, maybe winnable, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yep.
I'm hoping that with Struber being gone, I think that's a huge weight lifted off this team's shoulders. Let's face it, he should have gone a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And I think the players felt it. I think the players, we clearly saw Carl Nell, in the infamous game yelling at him. So you knew, and I mean, if your goalie's doing that, I think a lot of the players were not on Struber's side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping they embrace the new manager, and maybe this is just the start of sneaking into the playoffs somehow.
Yeah, I mean, time will certainly tell as to what this team is, capable of this season. That is for sure. All right, well, that brings us into our preview. We have 2 games to look forward to this weekend. The first up is against Toronto FC. It is away. It is tomorrow night, Wednesday, May 17th. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. and kickoff 7:39. TFC is 5th place in the East. Really?
I just said they are dead last in the
Dead last. Okay, dead last in the. Thanks for making me look stupid on my return.
It'd be
Anyway,
a 5, not a 5 right there. 1-5.
yeah, it looks like no, yeah, they're let's see, they are 2-4-6 with however many, they're 12 points there on the season.
Equal points
They're,
with us.
yeah, there you go. So they're garbage. They just lost to Montreal 2-0 on Saturday. So predictions, what do you think is going to happen this week?
So real quick, Jay gives us a 1-1. So just so you guys know, predictions didn't change because we both predicted sad draws. He's predicting another sad draw. What do you do here? On the road, short week, feeling good. Is this when they just ruin your hopes and dreams?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say they lose 1-0 in this game because this is the perfect time to get your soul crushed one more time against the god awful Toronto team. The only problem is that we are also god awful.
Yeah.
So it's just a battle of bad. We will just be slightly worse because it's just knowing that you're going to suffer the first loss in the manager on the road against Toronto.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I don't see the NYCFC game being in the beginning of anything. And just going on the road in MLS is kind of always a crutch or a handicap against you. So that's going to be Toronto putting the ball oh so slightly in Toronto's favor. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 1-0 loss as well. So that brings us to the next game, which is on Saturday against the Montreal Impact. That one is at home, 7:30 time on Apple TV, obviously. As of right now, Montreal is seventh place with 5 wins, 6 losses, 0 draws, and 15 points. So, Truman, what do you think will happen on Saturday against the Impact?
This team is dumb, and they're somehow going to win again 1-0. This is going to be the flip-flopping. This is the mediocrity that we've been craving all season, that we're going to just drag ourselves into that last playoff spot, and this is how it's going to do it, is losing the bad teams on the road and beating mediocre teams at home. Obviously, we're not going to score a ton of goals. We just don't do that. We just don't. Damn it, do we play defense? I will say 1-0, and I think Jay again is saying a 1-1 draw in this game.
All right. This is one where I'm agreeing with Jay. I'm going with the 1-1 draw. I don't see Montreal steamrolling us, but I do see us either getting the late goal to get the draw or giving up the late goal to get a draw. But either way, it's going to happen late, and because that's just how this team plays. All right, well, moving on. That brings us to New York Red Bulls 2. Their last match was a 2-0 win versus NYCFC 2.
What a great week against blue teams.
Absolutely. It's always good. It's always good to stomp on Smurf City. Their next match will be home against Inter Miami 2 on Sunday, May 21st at 7 p.m. And they currently have a 3-2-3 record with 14 points, plus 1 goal differential, and 5th in the East. Gotham FC, their last match was a 0-0 draw versus Orlando. Their next match will be against OL Lorraine. I don't know when.
Oh, it's Sunday.
Sunday. Against the Rain. All right, great. They are 4-0-3 in the league with 13 points, plus 1 goal differential, and they're 4th in UNWSL. And in the Cup, they're 1-1-0, 4 points, plus 1 goal differential, and number 1 in Group A. Red Bull F1 update.
Yes, Pat. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah?
Have you started watching Formula One yet?
I have not. That is not something that's happened in my sabbatical.
Okay, well, you got to get started. It's not too late to get watching the actually successful Red Bull team, because this is the one that we have that's guaranteed success nearly week in and week out. I will also mention, I mentioned on the show last week that they are building a 16,000 square foot Formula One arcade in Boston next year. So I expect to see you there for that. Full racing simulators. It should be absolutely bonkers. You got to come up. I mean, this is going to be mayhem.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I admit. I'm willing to check that out for sure. I might be up Boston way in August. We'll see.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Good Sox game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go see the Sox.
So we are in Italy this weekend. You can expect more of the same from Red Bull. Apparently, Formula One. Jay just sent me a link that they're changing all these tire rules where you're going to be getting to use less tires over the weekend. No one really cares about tires. It's kind of silly.
Nah.
But again, we are in Italy this weekend, and of course, the following weekend is Monaco. Pat, I'm going to make a suggestion for you. Memorial Day weekend, I just want you to put that Monaco race on the TV on Sunday morning and just enjoy the glory of yachts and rich people and fancy cars and handsome drivers. And that's what Formula One is. It's just a world that we know nothing about. We can't exist in it.
I'll be on the train to Yankee Stadium on Sunday morning, Memorial Day weekend.
Perfect. Stream it on your phone.
Okay. I guess I could do that. I suppose I could do that.
So, yeah, we got Italy this weekend. Again, we're coming off a little bit of a hiatus. Looking forward to more. You're not going to believe what I'm going to say. Red Bull domination.
Oh, there you go. All right, well, they're dominating something, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, well, so that brings us to Dumping Ground. Do you have anything for that?
Well, you weren't here, but you want to talk about Wrexham.
Yeah. I mean, it was what a great thing to finally see them getting promoted back into the Football League. I'm super excited to see them in League Two. I can't wait to watch Welcome to Wrexham Season 2. That's for sure, even though we know what happens. But yeah, it's fantastic to see. I would love to see if they do a double back-to-back promotion. That'd be freaking great. I don't know if it's possible, but I mean, I know they had better than conference level or National League talent apparently on that team. It'd be curious to see how they go against League Two. But yeah, no, this is a super exciting weekend. I mean, I love seeing all the videos of all the fans and how happy they were. Yeah, very exciting stuff.
Now, I don't know how much money you get for promotion, obviously, in these lower tiers.
Mm-hmm.
But does it come to how much more money they're going to put into the team?
Yeah.
Do they this is the success is the team's hasn't promoted in ages and we finally did it, and then we're gonna just let that ground and kind of stay in this league? Or, I mean, Ryan Reynolds wanted to buy the Ottawa Senators, so I'm having feeling he has some more money set aside.
Yeah, he's got some money. I don't know how Ryan Reynolds went from Van Wilder to this. I'd like to know how that. I'd like to take that class, how to get there.
I think it was 2 Deadpool movies. I think he really did it.
That was it. And then he bought everything else and made money off of all that stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, that's exciting. Definitely looking forward to August when the seasons start back up again. Actually, in my FIFA season, I have Wrexham in the Premier League right now. So,
you can do it. They can do it.
Yeah, if I can do it, not a problem.
Ryan Reynolds has more money than you last I checked. He probably has a little bit more money.
He does. He has a bit more scratch, that's for sure. My only dumping ground thing is that it was announced today that Florian Balogun has committed for the United States. He was English international. He was currently playing in France for Reims on loan from Arsenal, where he's lighting it up in the French League One with 19 goals on the season. Yeah, the U.S. has had striker problems. Is this the guy? Is this the guy who's finally going to solve it? I mean, he's very young. He's 21 years old. It will be interesting to see if this can turn around the U.S. fortunes. They just now need to go and hire a head coach named Jesse Marsh. So, So, but yeah, that is a big win for the U.S. Today in the recruiting battle with anybody really, for that matter.
What do they have coming up? When's their next meaningless exhibition game that they're going to play?
It's actually not a meaningless exhibition. Their next is a Nations League semifinal against Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, when is that? That is. Oh my God! Why does your freaking? Here we go. Okay, June 15th, Thursday, June 15th. They will face Mexico at 10 p.m. in Allegiant Stadium, which is that one in Vegas? I don't really remember.
There's so many with the same name. It's either Vegas or Houston.
Yeah, it might be Houston, and I feel like the final might be in Vegas. So, yeah. So there you go. That's what they right after the Nations League. Actually, the Gold Cup starts up pretty soon. Right after that, so lots of U.S. soccer this summer. Because don't forget, Women's World Cup is also later this summer. Yeah. Anything else for dumping ground?
I think that's all I got.
All right, great. Well, that now brings us to my betting corner, brought to you by the BetStamp app. That's right. So there's a few matches I like this weekend, or actually, I'm gonna go with Wednesday night. I'm gonna do some Wednesday night betting. We have Nashville versus Miami. I'm gonna take Nashville. They are at home, and the best odds you're getting for them are at Caesars at -154. Another match I like is Seattle over Austin. I don't think Seattle's been playing all that great lately. I think they're going to be kind of angry. I think they're going to take it out on Austin. Best odds you can get for them are -167 on Bet365. And finally, LAFC. I'm not buying the SKC resurgence. Their 2-game winning streak. I think it's going down in Los Angeles tomorrow night. And the best odds you can get for Los Angeles FC is over at DraftKings, -220. But as always, don't take my word for it. Download the BetStamp app today. Put in promo code RBRANT and start beating the sports picks on your own today.
Don't forget to bet with your head, not over it. There we go.
Boom. There you go. All right. That brings us finally to Truman's Terrible Team of the Week.
Charlotte is a terrible team. I mean, they're not as terrible as us. But they won in Atlanta 3-1. So Atlanta should be absolutely ashamed of themselves.
Yep.
I think the shine has definitely come off of Atlanta because a lot of those home games I'm looking at, it's not this 45,000 packed house of people going crazy. They won a championship, and I think a bunch of those fans just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But little bit of comeuppance for Atlanta. I mean, they're currently in 4th place. But yeah, God, you lost to them. They're terrible. They're terrible. We have excuses. We stink.
Yeah, we're actually awful.
Yeah, does not have an excuse to lose to bad teams at home. So there you go. I like giving it to Atlanta. So it makes me feel good.
Yeah, I know. Atlanta looked like they finally got out of their funk from like last season, and but now it seems like it's going back the other way. And yes, I saw some highlights. It was by Atlanta standards for sure. It was a disappointing crowd. This past weekend over there in the Georgia Dome 2, or Mercedes-Benz Arena. That's what it's called. That's right. All right. Well, that wraps it up for us. You can find us on patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. Email us at redbullrant@gmail.com. Give us a call 973-348-5329. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant. Twitter @Red Bull Rant. Jay's @Dr. Hughes. Truman's @the Truman. Like I said, Rusty. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Last words before we get out of here.
It must be exciting to watch 2 games this week.
I know.
And hopefully I'm just not more depressed because the Devils are out of the playoffs. So the Mets are sticking up the joints. So that's all I got right now. I got Formula 1 and I got this goddamn soccer team. So why don't you get your shit together and give me something to be happy about this week and win.
Yeah, that's right. I'm with Truman. What the hell? Let's get a nice 6 points. You're not going to do it, but we can dream. All right, so for Jay Truman and myself, this has been episode 429 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and go Red Bulls.
See ya.